You Kings, you're very welcome, friend to our team. We truly appreciate you. We thank you for being part of our team. There's not any single time we've called you and you said no. Thank you so much for being a team plant, for loving our team. We are ready and ready to learn and listen from you. Please, you can take it on. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Just as my friend, you're just making me feel so happy. And the way you believe in me and Team Power. And thank you for the friendship. We've come a long way, and I really am proud of you. I still want to tell you congratulations for the big step you gave East Africa and for your leadership in Team Lions and across board. You've also been an encouragement to me. I'm very proud of you and people who are making things happen. I look at you, Justus, and I'm very proud of your team, Dennis, and all the leaders. And we have Ashimwe, we have all the leaders, Mugisha, Joseph, Evelyn, and I'm so, so happy. And all the other leaders in Team Lions, even if I've not mentioned your name, I truly appreciate you together with our leader, Justus. It's just amazing to be here and just to see the goals that have been set. And as Justus was talking, thank you, Justus, I could see faith. Faith is something that I keep telling people, it attracts the blessing of God. And Justus was not just talking to himself, he was talking to all of us here. He was saying, we, the things we are going to achieve. Me, I say, amen, I'm going to do that, because it's like you are prophesying to all of us on call. And that for me, I'm very humbled that you believe in every leader who is here. And guess what? We can do it more because we are all directors. And you know, the highest step in your life is director. And this is a director meeting. I want to appreciate all the world team leaders here. I see Grace Ngatia here, my friend, and I see so many other great leaders who have joined us. And we have a few leaders here from Team Power. And today I just want us to talk about growth. And I'm going to really say that we should emulate what Justus and the team has done. They have set goals, because in our business, when you don't set goals, and you just don't set small goals, and you also you can continue admitting Justus, because I'm not sure whether about all the names, so you can continue
Okay, I'm doing that.
admitting. Yeah. So today I look at what Team Lions has given us a challenge, all of us, including me, about the goals that have been set. And I'm like, I'm going to copy some of the things. So I'm just so excited. I'm Grace Chege, and I know most of you know my story. I've been in this business. This is my birthday month. I joined in Neolife 9 years ago in February. So you can imagine, this is my birthday month, celebrating 9 years in Neolife. And let me tell you, the celebration has just started. You're going to see many things happening in Jesus' name positively this month. And I'm very excited. I'm the leader of Team Power International. And I started the business of Neolife. I always say, when I was broke, I had a job. I'm a graduate. I'm a HR. So when I look, the first meeting I attended, I got attracted to people who are talking about $500. Those are directors. And today I'm happy I'm talking to directors, because directors are the people who make it happen. There's no way a senior manager will be a senior manager and jump director and become a world team leader, a Sapphire director. The person who is going to become a director, a Sapphire director, a Ruby director, you can hear the name, is the director first. And all of us here, we have attained the director step. And guess what? As I talk about growth and goals today, I just want you to think and, feel. I don't know how you felt when you became a director. For me, when I was a senior manager, you could have thought I'm a bit crazy. But somebody told me in our business, to get results, you have to be a little bit crazy. When I was a senior manager, I was always thinking about this day. They are going to call me as a director. And I used to even paraphrase and just talk to myself how I'm going to be there. And guess what? In 7 months in this business, I became a director. And let me tell you, it was just so, imagine doing the business on part-time, getting to director in 7 months. I was just so excited. And let me tell you, I was first thinking this is now the place to be. But when I became a director, I realized I have just started my journey. I want to challenge all the directors here. Don't be comfortable. I was telling some leaders on Saturday, there is a lot of money on top where you are. Don't worry, I know we have products in the business. I'm not talking about products today, but I want to talk about us transforming the lives of other people for us to get what we really want. And that's why I've chosen the word growth. If you have a desire to do anything, if you have commitment, let's say you're in a relationship, you're always committed to that relationship, to call that person, to follow up that person, and you don't want to fail in that relationship. So it's like your why in that relationship becomes very strong. When we joined New Life, I was told about my why. I was introduced to these things, why, basics, and all that. But today, there's another thing that is so big in me, and is that the desire to succeed is very important. Justus has told us that the game plan, that the goals this year is that every director will achieve 3 directors. 3. And achieving those directors is very possible because we have just started the year. So it is very possible. I want you to think, just put in a good mood when you produce 3 directors. Of course, you'll be a world team. You will increase your bonus check, your team, the impact you're going to bring to your team. Let me tell you, when we win, I don't know how Team Lions felt when Justus became a Turubi director, but me, I was so excited. So imagine you just making the Sapphire step. What your team? Don't look at your upline. Don't look at the company. Feel like you have a goal. You have something that you must achieve for the people looking up to you. For me, when I became director in 7 months, can I tell you the 8th month? Because I was seeing I can do it, but the PVs were not there. I started looking at my team. I said, I need to move to challenge these guys. Because I had just senior managers, a lot of senior managers. I was the only director. Don't be so excited about that. I looked at it and I said, my upline Isaac Ndongo showed me this is the way to go to Sapphire director. I was a bit fearful because I was like, I have to get 4,000, 5,000, at least 5,000 away from this other leg. Let me tell you, you need to feel that pinch. It needs to become a reality. Not only our upline justice telling us that, but you taking responsibility, doing the calculation, and starting to look from where will I do this? And just as I said it, and that is my number 1 point today. If we really have to stretch to where we want, if we are to get the desire, the feeling, for me, let me first tell you about the feeling. When they told me now, Grace, you've made your first step to Sapphire. So I told Isaac, this Sapphire is the one that people fly outside the country. And I was told yes. But I had to complete my step. And when I became a sapphire and I produced a director, actually me, I produced 2 directors as a sapphire. I was so excited. And my check, my bonus check went to over $1,000. And my first trip was in Sun City in 2015. Everything changed. My team believed in me. They had so much belief in me. Let me tell you, director, I'm not saying your team does not believe in you. I'm not saying that they don't like you, but become a sapphire. Just become a sapphire. If you are a sapphire, then it's you are here. Then it's you have expired. You have to get 1 ruby, my friend. I know you are here. I'm not fighting you, but I know you are going to move. What am I trying to say?
Dennis
There
has
is
had that.
I am tired, Dennis. No more sapphire. Dennis, I hope Dennis is here. So what I'm trying to say is that when you become, there is some power, let me call it power, that comes into you now and you become very attractive. We don't care how your skin you look like, but you become so attractive. Thank you, Dennis. For sure he has expired. And that is why I want to say we have to look now how you have the desire, you have the feeling, you know the know-how. You need at least a director who is doing 5,000 and you're doing 5,000. And maybe you're telling me, Grace, right now I'm just doing 4,000. Where will I even get that director? No. We are here. We have the solution. And the solution number 1, we must recommit to sponsoring. You tell me, Grace, this thing we know it. You didn't have another answer except sponsoring. Number 1 answer is sponsoring. Number 2 answer, sponsoring. Number 3 answer, sponsoring. Let me tell you, one day my business was misbehaving. And you know, when the business is misbehaving, if you don't have a good attitude, you can also start misbehaving, especially with your attitude. And I looked at the team. I said, some people have not left. They are still here with me. But I am going down and I'm not even confirming at my title. Do you know what was the answer? Sponsoring. I went, I sponsored a whole new team. Part of my organization today has leaders that have been there for some time. But can I tell you, part of my organization today, and just as knows, is new people. People were not there. Some people, they were not there. They are doing so well right now. They were not there 1 year, 2 years ago. New people. So that is why I want to tell you, don't be saddened by downlines who don't want to work. You're a director and you're feeling like the reason why I'm not achieving 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 is because this and this and this person. No, get off that. Go out and sponsor new people. I'm assuring you, I have been down for so many times. I've asked myself why some people are not getting this business, why they can't see it, why they can't see even what this business has done for people in East Africa, across Africa. And I just go back that some people will never learn. So I'm here to assure you as a leader, I know you are doing the very best, but get out and sponsor new people. We must be ready, fully committed, and get all in. Change your mood, remove the worry. You know, some of the leaders here in your life can tell you how I had a problem in sponsoring. I was going and sitting with some of the leaders here in your life, Kenya. And they told me, Grace, it's like you're just being lucky. Then I asked them, why? Grace, you have not sponsored. And you know, they were telling me what I was fearing to hear. And I knew if I go and face Fred Garcia or the other leaders, they will just say those things. But I was just making myself ready and going to hear what I don't like hearing. But the more I had it, the more it became a real pain, which was positive. I remember one day I sat with Rico Brown. He told me, Grace, you're joking. You're joking, Grace. He took my showing me how I have sponsored a whole year. And this is me. I'm not talking about somebody else. I was challenged. He told me, this is the whole year, how you have sponsored. Grace, Chege, read it. Do you like it? I told him I don't like it. And me as Grace, I've never wanted to be in such a position. I don't know. I want to challenge you directors. Don't be so comfortable in some things that are not even praiseworthy. So for me, that was not praiseworthy. And I'm a leader. And I said, there's a problem here. Hey. Because Rico does not look at you as a, like me as a world team. She was not looking at my directors. He was looking at me and my nursery. And he was telling me, Grace, if you want to produce directors, stop telling me the directors that have been produced by other people in your team. Tell me about your directors. And let me tell you, it was not easy. But I went out, I sponsored. Just as I've been sharing with him the success of Team Power. But the greatest success is that from September, October, November, I've not done less than, with my nursery, less than 20 kids. And that is how I've been able to produce directors. Just as, yes, nursery, because the whole Team Power does between 75 to 85 kids a month. 20 years.
20 people in your nursery?
Even one day, yes, that's how I've been able to produce the directors that have been, they were all in my nursery. Last month, I didn't do so well, but I did 9. Last month, I did 9. And don't forget, that's why I've removed the 2 director legs that I produced in October and the leg that I produced in January. And don't forget the leg that I produced in January, the same leg produced a director in December. And I'm not counting that director because even she's not my director, but she's in my organization. What I'm trying to say is getting to reality, seeing there is a problem, and slowly working on the problem. I was frustrated, my friends, because some of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I was trying to do everything there, but nothing is coming. But let me tell you, keep going. Because the director I produced in October was an Instagram director. I'm not trying to just say that you look at only Instagram or Facebook, but I'm trying to say you have to keep going. You have to try everything, not to give up. I was very worried, but let me tell you how I have maintained my step to be 12 out of 12. It is because of production of new directors and the big nursery. Because if I'm doing 20 away from every other director, I'm challenging my directors. And I remember in the month of October, we had a director meeting. And yes, the office announced that Grace is doing 20. But also they didn't fail to encourage the other directors by saying, Grace was not doing well. You know, at some point I was feeling like telling one of the staff, just tell them I was not doing, so that they get encouraged, that somebody can move from somewhere. And this comes but by that fully commitment. You see now, my friends, when you fully commit, it's like you are doing it consistently, daily, whether there are no results, whether there's somebody calling or not. Do you know there are times I have posted almost months and nobody calls me through Facebook or Instagram? Can I tell you this week only, I have received over 8 calls from Facebook. I want to encourage a director listening to me here. You have to look for new ways. I know there is one-on-one. I know there is, me, I say I want to be a jack of all trades. I want to try one-on-one, big meetings, small meetings, Zoom calls. I do everything. This business, that's why I told you, you have to get a little bit mad to sponsor. You have to do intensive, please underline that word, intensive follow-up. I was telling the senior managers about one of the mistakes I have done in this business. that costed me to come to my senses. And I want to talk to directors and tell them, I realized one time I'm not doing good follow-up. Do you know how I noticed just as I'm not doing a good follow-up? I went to a meeting. Some people never paid. I gave them the pay bill, but I promised that I am going to call them for follow-up. Let me report to you my sins. I never called. Then I was there very busy, feeling sorry for myself that a month is just about to end and I've not sponsored. I want you to hit reality check on yourself as a director. So I took those papers. I said, let me call these people. The first call, I was telling senior managers on Saturday at KCC. When I called, I felt like God was just telling me, Grace, you're not serious about success. I called and that guy said, oh, this is Madam Grace of New Life. I have really been waiting for your call because I lost the pay bill number. I said, stupid me. What's wrong with me? You know, sometimes we keep blaming other people, but sometimes also look at what you're doing. Just check yourself, how you are doing things. I'm telling you, that is my own mistake. Follow up. Because yes, we can even sponsor people, but are we following up to build them? Because for me, I got mad, my friend. I got mad. When we had this convention in March, Mumus, I remember, I promised myself and I promised Rico and the leaders that supported us that I am going to produce 2 to 3 new directors. August, Rico came to Kenya and he told me, Grace, you lied. You have not produced the directors. And you know what I told him? Rico, the year is not yet over. Then I said, Rico will never tell me again that I lied. Can you just get mad? Have some run. Me, I got mad. I started going down to my team and my nursery team. I started giving incentives, crazy incentives. Today I was sharing with some leaders. Yani, what we say is, in Swahili, we say, nilimwaga pesa. You stay there and you are just waiting for Justus to give an incentive. You are just waiting for Grace Ngatia to give an incentive. You are just waiting for upline director to give an incentive. You are just waiting, I don't know who to give an incentive. Let me tell you, even if you're going to get money from where, you have to give incentives. So answer number 1 to producing directors, go to your nursery. If you're a world team, if you're a director, go to your director team. Identify some people. They might be weak, they might not be looking the part, but at least they do 100 points and they listen to you. Identify. Put them separate. Train all of them, but identify. Put them separate. That is what I did. I took some people within my nursery, not my director organization, because I will not get directors from I've already produced now the directors and they have the directors. I have the directors. I am not talking about that. I looked at these senior managers that were in my team because they were all senior managers. They were not even executive. And I started looking at people who are willing. Look for people who are willing. Please look for people who are willing. People who are not willing, they will always make your mood go haywire. And you will always feel like you are so mad about them. Look for people who are willing. And I started identifying in my nursery people who are willing. And how do they become willing? First, you encourage them. You tell them, I believe in you, even if you know how they are doing is just there. Because there are people who will just raise their faith just because you've said something good. You tell them, I like the way you did. You did this month. You did 150 points. You didn't do 100. Okay, they just did 150, but they did over 100. So look for some small things, not big things, that you can encourage. Maybe your voice, and I can tell you this, God can use your voice to propel somebody who was down to listen to you. And then you'll find that person is always wanting to ask you something. Let me tell you, I identified some managers and I said, I am going to produce some directors from these people. And as I've told you, nikaenda nikamwaga pesa in my nursery. Then I said, not just giving them money for free. Pesa is money in Kenya. It is telling you, if you do this, I give you this. And I started with one of the new directors in October. I produced June Shali. I told her, Shali, when you become an executive manager, I give you 3,000, and you have sponsored 5 people. I add you 500 for each person. You know what I'm doing? I'm giving crazy money, because I was tired of not producing directors. I was saying there is no way 2022 is going to end. Me, Grace, I have to produce a director. So I've told you have to be a little bit crazy. And I was galling Shali I was galling that senior manager until she became an executive. Then she changed from executive to director. I was galling her even if I think in the night, even something that is not sensible, I say, I'm telling this to Shali. You know, are you getting me? Not everything that is planned. I go and see something Oceana has done on Instagram. Hey, I tell her, this is what you are missing. You continue staying there on executive. Then she tells me, hey, Grace, I have to go to director. Then I tell her, I told you director is 25%. You know, you hammer it, you do anything, you make sure that person, provided they are listening to you, you make sure you drill into them success. Because drilling success is not just training people. It is just showing them. Sometimes I'm a little bit crazy. I go and see, I don't know what Justas have done, what Usna has done. I put pap in Shali's, I'm giving Shali, because that's how I produce as a director. Because there are some people you will produce as directors, not because they cannot go to director, but they need a lot of motivation. So you, the director, I'm talking to you, you became a director. There is somebody who worked on you to become a director. Can you work on that manager, that senior manager, raise hope, give incentives? And I've not told you to give a lot of money. You don't have to give exactly what I gave, but I'm trying to tell you, release something. Release even crazy. You know, sometimes I say an incentive, then I say, what have I said? Okay, am I going to give that incentive? And I said, because I've already talked, I cannot say anything else. So sponsoring comes through many things. We want to sponsor number 1, 2, 3. That is the way to succeed. But how do you feel? First, I was feeling like I'm mad with myself. How am I not producing a director? I was supported in an event. What is wrong with me? Which example am I giving my team? How am I going to continue making this step through the year and I'm not confirming? You have a meeting with yourself. Don't beat yourself, but get out of comfort zone. Get into cold market. Be daring. We've been told by Justas, we need 3 directors. Ashimwe, 3 directors. I can see Lydia Waru here, 3 directors. Now we are adapting to Team Lions. Dennis, we've said, Dennis, you are tired of Sapphire. Dennis, you are vacating Sapphire. Dennis, my friend. Dennis, 3 directors. So that one is just Ruby, you know that, Dennis. So we're talking here as friends. And getting out of comfort zone, intense follow-up, getting fully committed, giving incentives. Yes, Lydia Waru is telling me, oh yes, 3 directors. Stretching, you know, you need to learn to stretch so that you stretch people. You need to learn to stretch so that now you learn, how do I stretch these people below me? Me, like now, last month, I saw somebody. That's someone I knew they are very important. because they were under Angela, and I was targeting Angela to become the new director. So just a small sign. I told you, don't look for big signs. I saw her the second month, the day of the month, she was at 280 points. She's called Judy. Leaders from Team Power here know her. She's a new QSM. Said I called her. I told her this second day, you're at 280. Next week, I know you'll be at 500. She told me, Grace, I tell you, I'm going to get 500. I said, this one is telling me 500. I changed. I told her, guess what? Let us agree. Take a notebook. That one was not a planned meeting. Are you getting me? Make things sometimes, make them not unplanned, but make them serious. So I told her, now we have changed. For you, actually, I'm not just giving you a target. I want you to write that when you make 1,000 personal points, now I'm telling her, and she's at 280. 1,000 personal points, Judy, write down Kenya shillings 2,500 from me as lunch. She told me, what? I told you that's how I spice my nursery. That is my nursery. I'm talking about my nursery. I hope you can hear me right. So I knew. I started looking. I said, if this Judy gets to 1,000. Now I called the other one, Angela. I told her, you know what? I have already worked for you. Now you have to deliver this director because I already know who is giving you 1,000. The rest, wewe jipange. Jipange means you arrange yourself. So, directors, you must be able to see through this business. Even when things are very small. Guess what? Go and look today who has done 100 points in your team. 100, not 280 like Judy, 100. You just come up with something crazy. Just think about the new restaurant in town in Kampala. And just know the prices there so that you don't stress yourself. So I can tell you, I knew that lady who she was. And I told her, you know, you need lunch at Acacia. Acacia is in Kisumu, a very prestigious hotel. I know it. So I told her lunch in Acacia is about how much? She told me it's between 1,500 to 2,500. So I told her, yeah, that's your incentive. You just get to 1,000. And when she was we were closing the month, I was following her every day. Don't just desire things, director. Don't just plan once, but what you plan, follow it to the latter. Don't let your upline world team is the one who is following you all the time. Don't allow that you are coming, John, come lately. The month is closing. The person you are closing, following whether they are going to get to 250 or 500, you are calling them on the last day. These things that I'm training to you, you cannot do them alone forever. Learn to duplicate. If you really want to produce those 3 directors, each and every one of us, we must target to produce 10 managers, 3 to 4 QSMs that are going to grow to executives. Because you cannot just get a director. There has to be a process that there is someone. There is a certain QSM. There is a certain manager. And this manager, by the time we get to May, you go, you plan, you put a date and timeline, and you set apart that person. You call them. Because there are some people you should not mix with the rest. There are people who are A material, and you are mix them with B material. So you're wasting your energy. Purpose to raise qualified senior managers, executive managers. Because guess what? When you're raising those people, your check is going higher. As your check is going higher, you are getting excited. You're giving incentives. You're not even relying on the upline. I don't know who upline director incentive. You have your own incentives. By the time you are giving those incentives, you produce a first director. Because of the first director excitement, you produce another. By the time you're wondering what is happening, you have the third director and you're a Ruby. And the time you are in this meeting, you are just a director. Get tired. Get tired of where you are. I'm not comfortable as a Turubi. Every day I'm looking at possibilities of me to grow. But guess what? This is not a selfish business. This is network marketing. As you think of growth, who do you want to grow? For me, I'm looking at all my managers, senior managers, to grow them to directors. Because guess what? New people bring new energy to the team. I want to repeat that. New people bring new energy to the team. And they're even available to travel faster than you think. I have one of my friends. I'm not going to mention her name. But she's someone, I have seen her. She was down. She's a leader in my team. She was down. There's no problem being down. But when you stay down, especially when you have these friends that show you it's not a must for us to go for training. At that KICC event, they are going to teach the same things. Oh, I don't know where. Let me tell you, be a learner. Be a student. One thing I said, I'm not going to get into relationships in this business that are not helping me. People that are not telling me the right things. People are not, today we were talking with Grace Ngatia about relationships that are just there to warm you. I don't like such relationships. They're warming me for what? I want people who have results. That's why I look for people with results. Those people who are complaining, I kaput them, I keep going. So some of the people who have related with me, they know. But that leader came slowly by slowly. So it doesn't matter where you are. She's an existing director, but guess what? She's back to confirming again. And what is the answer? The answer is what I have told you. New people bring new energy. Her team is full of new people. New. They're all new. Now it goes back to what I've told you. Number one, sponsoring. Number two, sponsoring. Number three, sponsoring. We said that is the answer. And guess what? I was asking her the other day, do you even remember those ones who are misbehaving and feeling they don't want to take your call? I don't know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, they are not coming for Zoom, blah, 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 blah. You can't remember those ones. You have new energy, new people, my friend. If you don't want to get disappointed, because people can disappoint you. They even disappointed Jesus. So who are you? So can you keep looking for new people and keep focusing? So identify those people who want to grow and give them special attention, even if it is a manager. Can I tell you? Do you know me? Even I have distributors, not managers, that I am giving special attention in my team. There's one today. He was sponsored on Saturday. He's in my sensory. He was sponsored in Wundani. Do you know, since Saturday until today, we have talked like 10 times. Why? Because already the way I'm seeing him. Madam, and for arthritis, madam, and diabetes, madam, now are you getting? For me, I'm just focusing on the questions he's asking. So it's not about that that one is just a new distributor. And the way I'm looking at him, my friend, ask me his name in the next 5 months. You have to be a leader who is able to identify these people by very small strength sometimes. As I conclude this call, just know that your downlines are looking up to you. You are the hope of so many downlines that are in your team, directors. And when you make that step, some will remain in this business forever. The more you delay from taking that step, the more some senior managers are giving up. To whom much is given, much is expected. Don't just be there with that director title and say, oh, it's just us, it's 2 rubies, 3 rubies, and all the other people, world teams, those are the people that can produce the director. It is you. Directors, it is you. The directors that are here, you now, I'm talking to you. Andrew, Ashimwe, Cecilia, Chedu, Lydia, Evelyn, Joan, Miriam, Mugisha, Nancy, and Tumushabe. Because I can see our world team leader, Rachel. Well done, Rachel. She's here, a leader from the US, and I can see world team. Grace Natia, and of course our Turubi. That is and of course we have a world team, Dennis, of course. And so here we have about 4 world team leaders. And even us, I'm talking to myself, you have to get tired. How is your time management? And I've told you, you have to give time where it is due. People who don't deserve your time, don't keep crying on them. Move out and look for new people. I'm so determined to look out for new people. I lost my sapphire step once. And I want you to listen to this. And when I lost my sapphire step, we were told one thing in a meeting. Those people who have left and you've not done anything to them, their dreams came to an end. But you, if you are seated in this meeting, that's what we were told, your dream has not come to an end. I was told, and that time, thank you, Dennis, that go out and look for new people. And I was in pain, my friends. And that is how I went out in a very crazy way. Why am I saying it's crazy? Because I'm here, I'm not making my 10,000. Then I come and listen to the successful people. Be wary when you're not doing well. Don't go to those people who are not doing well. Stay around those people who are doing well. So me, I listened to some leaders and they started saying, you know, when you go to Kisumu is a county here in Kenya. There is a lot of business. They were coming and showing, like they came with 10 kids. Then me, I'm a Kenyan, but I am not gone to Kisumu. Then I started thinking crazy. I started saying, what if I go with these people to Kisumu? Now I'm planning to go to a county I know nobody. And if I go there, I start looking for people there because the way they are saying, it's like there are people in that place. How hungry are you to change from where you are? How tired are you? If you get comfortable, my friend, you will sink. So me, I decided to go to Kisumu. And the first meeting, I had nobody. The meeting had 300 people. Everybody had people. Me, I had nobody. So I had just gone as a tourist to Kisumu. Sometimes you need to understand the pain of success. The second time I went, I had 1 guest. And everybody there had like 50 guests. So me, I just sat with this 1 guest of mine. He was old, like 70. So we started talking. I told him, give me a name. Just as I hope you can hear me, a call came through. Someone was calling me. Can you hear me?
Yes, Grace, we can hear you now.
Someone was calling me. I'm sorry. Yes. So this man, I wrote for him names. He didn't pay. I took those names and I invited the next Kisumu meeting. I got 2 people. Don't look at what is happening around people. Don't compare your success with other people. So me, I had 2 guests when people are having 100 guests. But guess what? I want to cut this story short. Out of that team from Kenya that was going to Kisumu, me, Grace, I was the first person to produce the director in Kisumu. Don't look down on yourself. It doesn't matter where you are confirming from. And let me tell you, that business, sorry, now it's going to 8 people are calling me, sorry. That director, but we have to finish this, they have to wait. That director, up to now, that is why we have 1 leader here in this meeting, through that leader. called Miriam. Miriam is in this meeting. Miriam is not my direct leg, but she's in my organization. But Miriam, if I never went to Kisumu through that hard time, when I lost my sapphire step, even Miriam, you could not be in my team today. Sometimes God gives us some pain so that one day we shall encourage other people. When people see my 2 ruby business, that I'm closing almost 50,000 PV every month, confirming 12 out of 12, people think about luck. People say so many things, but people don't see the story. As I close, I want to leave us with 4 things that we need to do so that we get to the goals that Justice gave us. We've talked about sponsoring, getting out of comfort zone, giving money, incentives, purposing to raise qualified senior managers, and growing people intentionally. And I've told you to grow people is not easy in time management, but you need to believe in yourself. I've not said, I know as a director you believe in yourself, but now you need to believe you are taking the world team step, the 1 ruby step, the 4 ruby step. You now need to believe that it is doable. And you need to sit down. And you need, if you're a director and a justice, you need to see his income and see that you are just earning very small money where you are. When I was shown the money and I was shown the work I'm supposed to do to get to 2 ruby, it was like I wanted to hide. But I said, I'm not going to hide. I believed in myself. I believed in my team. And today, I'm one of the directors who stays some time without going to some counties. But because I have leaders there, I still get a lot of points from that. I still get a lot of leaders. So we need to just not believe in ourselves, but believe in these people. The weekend that has just passed, we had meetings in 2 areas in Kenya, Wundanyi and Mwatate, that were conducted by executive managers. I have left those executive managers to do the business because you know what? I can do everything. You need to duplicate yourself by believing in other people, showing them what to do, because there is a tomorrow that needs you. Number 2, it is your mindset. People know I keep talking about mindset in this country. If your mindset is just lying on director, you will never see that manager, that qualified senior manager for anything else. You will only look for them as a qualified senior manager. It is sad. You got to change your mindset and start visualizing how you're going to be traveling with us to Turkey, to the next destination. So when you visualize that and you raise your mindset, you're going to work hard because there's some work to be put in, my friends. It's not easy. You're going to put in work, and guess what? You're going to work like a donkey. When you think about what a donkey does, it's not easy. I've gone through a lot of donkey work, and sometimes it makes me feel emotional as a leader. But when I see some leaders, the way they have grown, I get excited. Be ready for some donkey work. Be ready to get tired. Be ready to stretch. Number 3, remain focused. Remove this excuse mentality that, oh, it's because I'm in Uganda, or it's because I'm in Tanzania, or it's because I'm in Kenya, or it's because my team is like this and this. Let me tell you. There was one of the directors I'm giving an example with. And if this one will not give you hope, I don't know what. In August 2022, we went for the convention in Dar es Salaam. Angela, my new director, was a senior manager, and she did not have a single person in her downline. I want you to calculate that August was 6 months ago. August 2022. And do you know why I pushed her to go to Dar es Salaam? That's why I want you to underline events. Events happening in Barara, in Wea, anywhere in Uganda, in Tanzania. Events are critical. What I was telling Angela when we were swimming, she told me, Grace, even today, when we went to the White Sands, I can't swim. I told her, hey, why can't you swim? She told me, I'm stressed. If I am just, all these people here, it's only me who does not have a team. I told her, it's true, you don't have, but you can have. Take people at the boiling point. My friend, take that manager where it is hot. You are making that person not to come to the summit, not to come to the, you want them to spoon feed them like this. No, put them where they are like this. It is hot and they are getting burned. So that is what happened to Angela. And 6 months later, Angela is a brand new director, and not only a brand new director, but she produced a director. What am I trying to say? You must be all in as a leader to see all these things happen. You must be all in as a leader, as a director, to visualize what is going to happen with these people. You carry the hope of your team. You carry the dream aspirations of those people. Some of the people in our teams don't have enough hope. You are carrying the hope as the director. And you are joking when you're not coming for events, when you're not showing up where you're supposed to show up. So remain focused. Be a lifelong learner. Learn and practice. I hope these things that we have taught you today, including myself, we can keep on practicing. We are not perfectionists, but I tell you, we can do it. I have gone through donkey work, pain, and, finding myself in a place that, when are these people going to get it right? But guess what? With time, I've seen others getting it right. So directors, you're in a comfort zone. You have to change that name director. It has to be Sapphire director, Ruby director, 3 Ruby director, 4 Ruby director, Diamond director. And there is no saying that we are in. Now the making has been done. We are not in the making anymore. There are some tags, that, people say just as that keep them where they are. There's a director in my team who declared himself a director. He was tired of being a senior manager. So every time I called directors, he came to the front and I could not tell him to sit. But for me, he pushed himself there and he became a director. And that is none other than one of my directors. I know my leaders know him here. He's called Director Kaluli. I could go to, it's called Josephat Kaluli. So every time I could go and say, I told him, Kaluli, you are not a director. So he doesn't hear me. Imagine he was disobeying me, and I like it that way. I was saying, directors, he comes to the front and he gives testimonies. My friends, that is how that guy became a director. I want to say thank you, Justus. I'm sorry for going out with 7 minutes, but I hope that we are going out to work. Back to you, Justus.
Wow. This is going to be one of the meetings that I am never going to forget. This has been so good, so motivating, so encouraging. And I like the way Dennis has put it. Dennis says that I don't know how to thank you, Grace. I think the best way we are going to thank you is to call
Make
you.
a step.
The best way we are going to thank you, Grace, is to call you for a director meeting in December. We call you for a director meeting in December, and to everyone that is on this call, should be a Sapphire director, a Ruby director, who has developed at least 3 directors and above. I think that is the best way we are going to say thank you for you pouring out your heart this evening to share with us to make sure that we get out of our comfort zone. My take home today is every single time you delay to make a step, you are just killing the hope of all the senior managers. I don't know whether you remember I don't know whether you remember that you said that statement, that every single time you are actually delaying at director, you are delaying at SAFA director, you are killing the hope of those that are following you. They are asking themselves, if Dennis can stay as SAFA director 1, 2, 3, 5 years, how can I be able to think about becoming a Ruby director? If Joseph can stay as a director for 1, 2, 3, 5 years, how can I even think about becoming a SAFA director? I think it's something that we should not, this is something that we shouldn't take lightly. We are just killing our businesses. We are just killing the hopes of the people that are following us by us not stepping up. Because I mean, I'm now thinking, we're talking about becoming presidency members, but then how does Dennis even ever think about becoming a presidency member? If me, myself, who has been around and is following me, and I'm not yet a presidency member, how? Dennis, how do people think about becoming SAFA directors in your team? If you yourself, you're stuck as a SAFA director, I think this is something that we should take personal. We need to take it personal. We don't need to take this thing lightly. 2023 is here. All of us that are on this call must become serious and take these things personal. I hear Dennis became a SAFA director in 2016, and he has been stuck as a SAFA director for all this long. I mean, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end this meeting. Let's go and work. Thank you so much, Grace. Let's go and work, honestly. Let's go and work. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening.